Though The Flash this year wasn't as strong as it was in the previous 2 seasons, it did end on a high note, promising us to explore the infamous comic book storyline, The Flash Rebirth. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to show your support. I'll be doing Flash videos every now and then, along with other videos pertaining to DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. Also, with Comic-Con around the corner, you should also check out my Comic-Con playlist. You'll find all of my videos pertaining to Arrow, The Flash, Avengers Infinity War, and more. After defeating Savitar, Barry entered the Speed Force to keep it balanced, and many of us comic book fans know that the writers are planning to do a version of Flash Rebirth for Season 4. Before we get into what that could all look like, let's look at what Rebirth was in the comics. During Crisis on Infinite Earths, Barry sacrificed himself to stop the Anti-Monitor. He later returned after being stuck in the Speed Force for 20 years. As he's running to his welcome back party, Savitar leaps out of the Speed Force after being placed there by Wally West. Barry reaches out to stop him, however when he touches him, Savitar turns into nothing but ash and bones. Barry and Wally find the corpse of the Black Flash, and after being attacked by another speedster, Barry touches her and she also turns into ash. After defeating the speedster, Barry begins to turn into the Black Flash. The Justice League tries to figure out what exactly is happening to Barry, however Barry can feel himself becoming consumed by the powers of the Black Flash. He's freed from the Justice League's hands and runs as fast as he can to return to the Speed Force. As he's returning, he's forgetting everything about his past, how he got his powers, his mother's death, and even Iris's name. Soon before he forgets it all, Max Mercury and Johnny Quick, who are also stuck in the Speed Force, reach out to him. Johnny turns into ash as he touches Barry, and Max tells Barry that it's not his fault, it's Professor Zoom's. After that, Professor Zoom appears, revealing that he orchestrated it all. Thawne reveals that he started experimenting on himself and created the negative Speed Force, which killed the Black Flash and corrupted Barry, making him the new Black Flash by killing anyone he touched, which was all a part of his plan. Wally runs into the Speed Force to save Barry and Max and successfully does so, and together they, along with Bart Allen, Jay Garrick, Jesse Quick, and Wally's daughter, all battle Thawne. Barry and Thawne get some alone time, and Thawne reveals to Barry that everything bad that has happened to him was because of Thawne, including his mom's death. Thawne then gets the idea to run back in time and kill Iris, however Barry and Wally run back to stop Thawne. Barry runs with Thawne back to present day and throws him in the containment unit that he was being held in when he was consumed with the negative Speed Force, and thus stripping Thawne of his powers and rendering him unconscious. Now, the Flash TV series has already done some elements pertaining to the entire concept of Rebirth, with Barry being gone and in the Speed Force, and at some point Barry is obviously going to have to return. The question is, when? Part of the disappointment last year was that Flashpoint only lasted for an episode and it was easily forgettable. Flashpoint was an exciting Flash storyline in the comics, and the TV version didn't live up to the hype. Instead, it gave us a dry and quite uninteresting season this year. My wish for this year is that Rebirth on The Flash will actually have a more impactful meaning to this season, but to the series as well. Part of that is to actually have the Flash's disappearance devastate the city in a major way, and what better way to do that than with crime? And I'm talking about like Star City crime. It'd be a different dynamic for the show to take, but an interesting one as well. And with the main Flash gone, that gives the villains an opportunity to run around and wreak havoc, as they will underestimate Wally as Kid Flash. There were behind-the-scenes photos that revealed Wally in Barry's suit, alluding to Wally stepping up as the Flash when Barry died in the comics. I believe that the show could go either way with this concept. With Barry gone, Wally would have to reluctantly step up as the Flash. However, when Barry returns, he'll become Kid Flash again and announce that he's not quite ready to be the Flash yet. However, Wally could wear the suit for one time and feel out of place for wearing Barry's suit, feeling like he's dishonoring his memory, and never wear it again for the remaining episodes that Barry is gone. I believe that the show will lean on the second option, being that they like to tease certain things out that they'll pay off in the future. So Wally is in Barry's suit for episode 1. It could be a teaser that's later paid off in the future as he upgrades from being Kid Flash to the Flash and leaves the show for either Legends of Tomorrow or the Titans TV series that's currently in development. And although it's not connected to the Arrowverse, it could be in the future. The circumstances for which Barry returns would have to be where the Thinker comes in, the team faces off against the Thinker for the first time in terms of DeVoe's crew facing off against Wally and Cisco in the field, and the team realizing that they need Barry to face off against this new threat. Now, with Barry back, there's obviously going to be something that continues that sort of storyline with Barry being gone for 6 months. The most obvious being his relationship with Iris and their inevitable wedding, but also I think it would be interesting to see Barry struggle with being gone for 6 months. That is also something that Barry struggled with in the comics when he returned, only he was gone for 20 years, so a lot changed. With a city filled with crime, it's a different Central City that Barry is used to seeing. This could also be the opportunity for a new hero in town to show up that has been around on Team Flash's radar since Barry's been gone. The show is currently looking for someone to play Ralph Dibny, aka Elongated Man, and with episode 1 done and episode 2 currently in production, it seems that Ralph will appear in episode 3 or beyond when Barry is returned for good. Another situation could be Barry becoming the Black Flash. Remember, in the finale this year, Killer Frost killed Hunter Zolomon, and in the Flash Rebirth comic, Barry does become the Black Flash after Eobard infected him with the negative Speed Force. This would also be a gateway for Eobard Thawne to return on the show. However, he was erased from existence on Legends of Tomorrow, and I'm not sure if the show could incorporate this storyline with or without the Reverse Flash. The mythology behind the Speed Force and how it works on the show is a bit wonky, so the negative Speed Force would be an interesting concept to develop. However, in order to do it, you'd have to do it perfectly. It's either a hit or a miss, and after season 3, I'm afraid that it won't be as good as we would want it to be. Another aspect that shows a changed Central City would be a Flash museum. The show could start off slow with a Flash statue to honor the Flash and give the citizens hope during their dark times when Barry was gone for 6 months, and then expand from the statue when the Flash returns by creating the Flash Museum, which is something that can be built throughout Season 4 and open to the public in the back half of the season. So what do you guys think? What predictions do you have for the Flash Season 4 and how they'll handle Rebirth this year? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below and be sure to subscribe for more Flash news. And with Comic-Con around the corner, be sure to check out my Comic-Con playlist, as I said in the beginning of the video, to be up to date with all the news that comes out this weekend on The Flash, Arrow, Avengers Infinity War, and more. Like always, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and other than that, my name is Jobi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you, and have a marvelous day from the LA to the DC.